The next topic is nested for loop. So nested for loop means a for loop contains another for loop. One for loop contains another for loop, that is called the nested for loop. So the syntax is like that: for I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Next again I am using another for loop for j equal to 0, j less than 10, j plus plus. In that I am using the sum of the block of statements. Now you can close this one. So this is the syntax of the for loop. So in that here in the two for loops, one for loop represents the I loop and another for loop represents the j loop. So these are the two for loops. If I take this one, this for loop will comes under the inner loop. This is called as the inner loop. And if I take this for loop, this is called as the outer for loop. Outer loop. So whenever you are in the nested for loops, in that it will execute the first, it can take the value I equal 0 and it will execute this inner loop. After completion of the inner loop, again you can increment the I value and again you can repeat the inner loop. So in that we can execute this one. So the execution time comes under the number of times of the inner loop into the number of times into the outer loop. So that means in that you can take the 10 into 10 times it will be executing this for loop. Okay, now we will take one example. Okay, now we will take the example for this one. Within the example, I want to print the triangle shape stars. Okay, in that I am taking the class stars. This is the main function, public static void main. This is the main function. Int r equal to 5. The r means number of rows. I want to print the 5 rows. So in that I am taking the r equal to 5. For int I equal to 1, I less than or equal to r, I plus plus. So this is the for loop. And again I am using another for loop, int st equal to n. 1. That means the stars. St equal to 1, st less than or equal to I, st plus plus. So then I will print the star and again I am giving the system dot out dot println means it will give the extend space. You want to print the space. Okay, first I equal to 1 and 1 less than or 5. So st equal to 1 and 1 less than or equal to I means 1. 1 equal to 1. So then it will print the first star. Okay, now it will increment the st equal to 2. 2 less than 1 condition is false. So then it will go to the println. So in that it will give the one gap. Next it will go to the I increments. So now I equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 5. It will true. Then it will come to this one. St equal to 1. 1 less than or equal to 2. True. So it will print the star. Again it will increment the st value. Now st equal to 2. 2 less than or equal to 2. True. So again it will print the another star. So now it will increment the st value 3. 3 less than or equal to 2. Condition is false. So again it will come to the next line and again it will increment the I value equal to 3. So this process must be repeated until the first condition is false. So that means next it will print the 3 stars. Next if I equal to 4 it will print the 4 stars. If I equal to 5, 5 less than or equal to 5, true. So again it will print the 5 stars. So after that one, now you can increment the I value 6. 6 less than or equal to 5. The condition is false. So whenever the condition is false, it will come out of the loop and it will stop the process. So this is the sample program for the nested for loop. And if you are taking the nested for loops for matrix or arrays, within that one you can use these nested for loops. The next topic is for each loop. So what is completely for each loop? The for each loop is mainly used for handle the collection of elements. If you are having any collection of elements, at that time you can use the for each loop. So what is comes in the collection of elements? The collection of elements means group of elements. if you are taking the group of elements, using the group of elements, if you want to take any process, at that time you can use the for each loop. The syntax of the for each loop is comes under the for variable. In that you can put the colon. Next you can give the what are the connection you want to have. Next you are having the some body of the loop. So what are the body of the for loop? So in that if you are taking the variable, so what is the variable you want to use, that must become under the variable. In that collection means what are the group of elements you are having, that collection must become under this one. Then you can take the array of elements or any collection of elements. And if you want to use the collection of elements within Java, in that you can use the one package. That package comes from the java.util. The java.util package is used for representing these collection of elements. So if you are taking this for each loop, in that the loop is repeated until all the elements are completed. This loop is used until all the elements are completed. Suppose if you are having 5 elements within the loop, so this loop must be repeated 5 times. The completion of the 5 elements is executed. So this is the process of the for each loop. Okay, now we will take the one example for the for each loop. Of the for each loop, in that I am taking the 5 elements. So these 5 elements are stored in the one variable array. Okay, in the demo, this is the main function. Next, int array equal to elements. So 20, 40, 50, 80 and 100. These are the 5 elements. The 5 elements are stored in the array. The array comes under the integer type. Now for int I array. So in that I am taking the variable I. The I contains the elements of array. So system.out.println I. So that means this loop is repeated until completion of the all the 5 elements. So this is the process of the for each loop. The for each loop is mainly used for the group of elements. If you want to have any group of elements, at that time you can apply the for each loop. Okay, the next topic is break statement. The break statement is used to come out of the loop or exit from the loop. The break statement is mainly used for the 3 ways. The one of the way is within the block. This must become under the within the block you want to use the break statement, and second way is within the switch statement. In the switch statement also you can use the break statement, and in that if you are taking any looping statements, at that time also you can use the break statements. The third one is if you are having any looping, in that you want to have any break on the loop, at that time also you can use the break statement. The syntax of the break statement is simply you can put the break only, break follows the semicolon. We are already discussed about the break in switch statement. So now I will stop this one. The next topic is continue statement. The continue statement is you want to continue the process. That means in that if you are taking the looping, in that you can repeat the process again and again. At that time you want to repeat the process, at that time you can use the continue. The syntax of the continue comes under the continue and semicolon. So whenever you are using the continue, it will stop the what is the next preceding statements on the loop. These steps are skipped and it will start the iteration again. So that means in that if you are taking the for, you are having some of the loop, in that you are having the some of the statements. Next if you are in the continue, next you are having any statements. At that time whenever you are in the continue, it will skip